Hello and welcome to Challenge to Build. If you are watching this video, then there is a good chance you are in the market to purchase some high output LED lighting for your late model Chevy Suburban, Tahoe, or Silverado pickup. And in this video, I'm going to give you an overview of these lights, more importantly, the installation of them. And in order to do this, I want to thank Gxenogo, which is the manufacturer in which sent me these lights at no cost. I am required to disclose that to you. However, that will not keep me from giving you an honest review and some of the minor problems I had with the installation. The vehicle in which you see behind me is a 2004 Chevy Suburban 2500. Gxenogo has these lights listed fitting various different years and various different models of Chevy vehicles. So you are going to have to make sure that you do your own due diligence to make sure that these lights fit your specific application. It is extremely important to read the front and back of the installation instructions that are given with these lights. Now, you may be thinking it's just a plug and play installation. How hard could it be? It really was not that difficult. However, I did have one kind of minor problem that was within the manufacturing of these lights, and I will discuss that in the installation. So this way here, it is an honest review of the product, and if there are any problems in your installation, you will have a reference to how the problem was solved. So with that, let's cut to the video of the installation, and then I will come back and give you a final overview of the lights. Obviously, the first part of the installation is going to be removing the old aftermarket lights. One thing that I noticed about the lights from Gxenogo is the overall build quality of them. Now, with the LED lighting in them, they are substantially heavier, but the brackets that are on the back of the light, you can tell that the bracket is substantially larger on this light as it is on this one, and the thickness in the plastic material is also more robust. So definitely when we're talking about build quality, the build quality in these lights are very, very good. So that is one thing that I noticed as I was taking them out of the box. Not only do they look really, really cool, the quality of the construction is definitely matched with the overall look. Now, if you're watching this video solely for the review of these lights, this is where you have to listen very carefully. With my installation, I'm going to say that this was probably a 1 in a million shot. But with my passenger side marker lamp, specifically in regards to the daytime running light, I was getting really, really frustrated with why things weren't working, and I kept popping a daytime running light fuse. So finally, after questioning my mechanical abilities, I started from square one and found out that during the manufacturing of specifically this light, the Cannon plug on the daytime running light was wired incorrectly. So it took me probably 2 or 3 blown fuses to finally break out my test light and figure out that the wiring in the Cannon plug was reversed. Even if this became a problem again with another purchase, it would not deter me from installing these lights solely on the fact that they are just really, really aggressive, and they have a very unique look to go with the vehicle. So sometimes as a vehicle enthusiast, the things that we do for just the quote-unquote cool look. With that being said, another thing that I did was I took the time to zip tie and wire loom the lights. There is an excess of wire because these are a plug-and-play installation. You do not have to do anything with the stock light plug on any of the positions. You do have to pay attention to which way you're plugging them in. And again, it is called out in the instructions specifically for the daytime running light. Also with the high beam and low beam connectors. So just take your time, pay attention to which color wire is getting plugged in where. If you really take a close look at the plug, you will see that it's labeled positive, negative, and then that coincides with the wiring of your vehicle. The black wire is the ground wire, and then whatever the color wire that goes to the plug is going to be the positive. Had I just paid attention to it in the beginning, I would not have had so many problems that were my own doing in the installation. So with all of that said, I'm going to install these using my index marks. You will want to use some dielectric grease, and you will need some either electrical tape. This is the wiring harness fabric tape from XFasten, or you could go to the extreme and use heat shrink on all the connections. Again, all of that information is laid out in here because they simply just plug in and then tuck them in. So you're going to want to keep the moisture from getting inside those connections, and then also keeping them connections from coming apart. It should be quite a bit easier. However, we're still going to read the tags. Everything is labeled very clearly. Starting with the daytime running light, I'm going to not tape anything yet and install both the left and right hand side marker lights, and then test the circuit, verify that everything works, and then tape everything up, and then move on to the headlights. All right, let's test the circuit out. Parking lights, marker lamp, left turn signal, right turn signal, and now to trip the daytime running lights. Where are my daytime running lights? Not again. Oh wait, hold on. Before I get too freaked out. Auto mode was still on. Whew. One of my most favorite things with these lights is the daytime running lights. The daytime running lights, when they are wired in and hooked up, they look freaking awesome, and they are super bright. So now that I got that all figured out, I'm going to go ahead and install the headlights on either side, and then finally wrap up the installation on these LED lights. What a pain in the butt that was. Now, I do have a little OCD, and I do like things to be neat and tidy, especially with like lighting and safety kind of related items. It really took me a long time to figure out what I wanted to do with the daytime running light plug. Kind of tucked it in here behind the header panel and zip tied it. I think that'll be a safe place, because with the LED technology, there are, I guess, what is this, like a little capacitor down here, or I guess it would be more like a transformer maybe. But this thing gets really hot, so I'm just trying to be very cautious of where the wires are being tied up to, abrasion, all of those things. I would highly recommend either heat shrinking or using the fabric wire loom tape. This stuff is actually, this is the first time I've actually used it, and this stuff is really, really amazing. It comes off the roll really, really tight, so it allows you to wrap everything nice and tight. And if you've never used it, I can kind of relate this to like hockey tape. And if you've never used hockey tape, well, you're just gonna have to get a roll of wire loom tape and try it out for yourself. But I think, in my opinion, the heat shrink really won't work because of the obscurity of the plug. That is one downside. This is all plug and play kind of wiring. And part of me had thought about maybe doing some weather pack connectors, but I want to be able to revert this back to a stock appearance if need be for whatever reason. So I'm going to leave everything the way it is and just wrap them up nice and tight. I did use quite a bit of tape. These are rated at, I believe, 50,000 hours. So these should be in for a really long time, so I shouldn't have to worry about it. And once the installation and you double check your wiring, there should be no reason to take them out. So now that everything's wired, wrapped, and in a safe location, I can finally tuck this in, work it in, and one side finally done. And the fun part of removing the plastic. The tail lights, the way that they're cut in there individually, kind of looks like I guess like a shark fin or something like that. This is very aggressive. I really like that look. Now finally, to finish up the installation on the headlight assemblies, specifically on the headlight assemblies, these plugs relate to the standard headlight bulbs that were in your old headlight assemblies. Now there are 4 wires for the assembly. You will notice there's a high beam, a low beam plug, and then you will have a positive and negative control plug, which is going to be for the diode. Now the diode is outlined in the installation instructions, specifically right in this area. It's probably going to be a good idea for you to have low beam, high beam, and daytime running light fuses available just in case you blow them. Low beam, and then for my specific application, I've already gone through the process of elimination, and I found out that I need to use the positive control on the diode. Finally, the last wire, which is the daytime running light, and then very carefully and neatly tuck and finally taking the factory clips, pushing them down, locking them in. And that takes care of the light. There's a really good chance that I am going to have to adjust these headlights, but for the time being, I'm just going to go ahead and get the other one installed and then test them out. Whew. Now, finally for the payoff. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Take a step back and admire the accomplishment. All right, that's long enough. Now let's see what they look like. Oh, what do you think? They look bright. And they are definitely bright. Man, it looks good. I really, really love the daytime running light option on these things. It just looks so sharp. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to turn off the... Right now they're on low beam. I should probably check and double check my high beam real quick. Now with the high beam, all 4 lights, 1, 2, 3, 4 lights should be on, which they are. I'm going to go to straight daytime running lights. Yes. Just the daytime running lights. And I think that looks awesome. Well, after what I feel as though probably took me a little bit longer to do the install than I had originally anticipated, I cannot tell you how ecstatic I am with the overall styling and look of these lights. I again want to thank Gxenogo for sending me these in order to do the installation and review on. Previous to installing the lights, I took it out and did a 100-foot increment as far as light output. And considering what these things look like in here, I have a feeling the results will be astonishing. So let's get outside and finish up the review. Hopefully you can see me. I don't know if you can, but I'm gonna roll this up and we're gonna go install the new lights and see what the difference is as far as distance and the color of the lighting. And this is the distance of about 100 feet looking back toward the truck to give you some kind of reference on lighting before replacing the headlights. All right, now I have the truck back outside to where we did the original test. The lights have been installed and I am going to turn them on right now. One word comes to mind: wow. Holy smokes. So there's a few things right off the bat that you will notice. One, the color of the light is what they consider to be a daylight bulb. We're talking 6,000 Kelvin on the coloring. Two, the brightness of the bulbs is crazy. So these new lights are rated at 5,000 lumens for the set. I'm talking a pair for the low beams. I'm going to switch over to a high beam. The high beams are rated at 9,400 lumens for the pair. So an impressive amount of light getting projected out of the assembly. The third thing that I will notice, and you may notice too, is I don't necessarily know how well it projects, is the width of light. So to the left and the right of the vehicle, it is now a heck of a lot brighter. So extremely, extremely impressive. I think the advertising that they show on the product is extremely accurate. And what I'm going to do now is go back to a low beam and give you the 100-foot rating. Not that it really matters at this point in time. So here I'm going to walk out to 100 feet and give you the reference, the point of reference. And here I am standing at 100 feet. I certainly hope you can hear me. I know you can see me. So impressive amount of light given off by the lights. And what I'm going to do now is give you the shot of the truck as I walk back. I'm going to end the review on the Gxenogo LED headlight assemblies here. I want to say thank you for watching. I also want to say thank you to Gxenogo for sending me these lights in order to do the review. Extremely, extremely impressive. If you are looking for a set, you will find them on their storefront. Take a look. They have other vehicle makes and models available. These are for the 99 to 2002 Silverado pickup and 2000 through 2006 Chevy Suburban. These are mounted on a 2004 Chevy Suburban 2500, and as you can see, I can see. Very impressive. Thanks again for watching. Get out there, go challenge your build. I will see you in an upcoming review and/or video.